Hello students, in this lecture we are going to cover some of the examples of identifying language for a given grammar. So what a grammar is and what are the terms related to the grammar are discussed in the previous lecture, and I hope you are familiar with all those terms, means sentential form, leftmost derivation, rightmost derivation, variable, non-terminals, etc. So if you are not familiar with those terms and have no idea of grammar, so please watch the video of lecture number 33 for the same and then move to the examples. Okay, so for this session we are just going to cover the language identification for a given grammar. In next lecture we will be covering how to construct the grammar. By construction of grammar we mean that we have to construct the production rules for the given language, right? So in this lecture we are just covering the language identification from the given grammar. So let's start with the lecture. So first, just a brief introduction of the grammar. So in previous lecture, as we have discussed various terms related with the grammar, one was this single arrow is representing the production rules, where left hand side is rewritten as a right hand side, and this double arrow is representing the directly derives among the sentential forms while deriving the strings, means how we derive the strings, how we are getting the final string out of the by using the applications of the production rule is defined with the help of double arrow. Okay, so in previous lecture we have covered the string, this the boy ate the fruit. The boy ate the fruit. This was the string, only string of the grammar for the previous lecture, and for this English language sentence we have used these production rules or these grammar rules to derive this particular string of terminals. Okay, so these leaf of the nodes are known as the terminals, and internal nodes are the non-terminal, means internal nodes can be rewritten, so we are calling them the non-terminals, and those cannot be rewritten, we are calling them terminals or the end point. Okay, so means we are deriving the final result of terminals only by rewriting non-terminals or the variables. Okay, so every grammar is defined with these four tuples: non-terminal, terminal, production rules, and the start symbol. Start symbol means from where we will be starting the derivation. So first production rule to be applied is corresponding to the start symbol for every grammar, right? So here are the definitions. So variable non-terminals are the internal nodes for this particular grammar. We have these symbols as the non-terminal. These are the internal nodes: noun, phrase 1, statement, article, noun 1, verb, verb, phrase, noun, phrase 2, article, noun 2. So these are the internal nodes or the variable. Same way, these are the terminal nodes. Those nodes cannot be rewritten. We are calling them terminals, or the final string will be of terminal only. So the boy, fruit, the ate. So these are the terminals for this particular grammar, right? Next we have the production rule. These were the production rule that we used to derive the string the boy ate the fruit by the application of rules, by the application of these production rules. Okay, so these are the production rule for this particular grammar only, and S is the start symbol of the grammar, from where the derivation start, means we will start the process of deriving the string from the start symbol only. So here S is the first production rule to be applied, and S is the start symbol for this particular grammar, right? Same way, for every grammar we have to define these four tuples: non-terminals, terminals, production rules, and the start symbol. So this is the basic terms related with the grammar. Next we have the sentential form. While the derivation we have the sentential form. Sentential form is a mix of terminals and non-terminals. So let's start with the examples now. So here is the first example. We have the grammar is this: non-terminal is only one S, and next is the terminals. So terminals are A, B. Okay, so lowercase a, b's are terminals. Generally we will be using capital letters for variables or non-terminals. So variables and non-terminals are denoted with the help of capital letters, and terminals are denoted with the help of lowercase letters. Okay, or we can also use 0, 1, 1, 2, any letters or any alphabet for the terminal depending on the grammar. So here S is the start symbol of the grammar, and these are the production rules of the grammar, okay, that we will be using to derive the grammar or the string. So here S is the start symbol, and also S is a non-terminal, because S can be the start symbol if and only if S is a non-terminal or a variable, because we have to rewrite S during the derivation process, okay, deriving process. So S will be rewritten as something, means some right hand side of the production rule, okay. So as here we have only one non-terminal as S, and we have two production rule corresponding to S. So first production rule is this, and the second production rule is this. So first production rule is this, and the second production rule is this. So as we are having two production rule corresponding to start symbol, so for deriving the string we can start with either first rule or with the second rule. So it's up to your depends on your requirement, means whether you need to start with the first production rule or the second production rule, but you have to start with the start symbol only, okay. And as we have two options, so you can go with either depending on the string we need to derive, right. So for this example we have to find out the language of the grammar, means for this given grammar we have to find out the language. So best way to find out the language is to check for the option of the string that can be derived from the given production rules, right. So now we have to judge these production rules, and we have to find out the type of string that can be derived from this grammar. So here, just starting with the same example, we have to check for the string that can be derived out of these production rules. So let's check for the minimum string by applying the second production rule, and this is the first production rule, this is second production rule. So just starting with the first production rule, if we are starting with the derivation, means string derivations, then we have to use a double arrow for directly derives, okay. I think you all know these things. So firstly we are trying to derive this minimum string. What is the minimum string that can be derived from this language is AB, as we are having this production rule, direct production rule. So the minimum string to be derived is AB. So let's write the strings in separate set to consider, so that we can define the language corresponding to this grammar later. So for now we are just checking for the options of the string that can be derived from this grammar. So second option is, if this is by the application of rule number 2. So if we go with rule number 1, by the application of rule number 1 we are getting this right hand side. So this is the sentential form. Here we have non-terminals or S as a variable, so we cannot say this is the final string, because we are having some non-terminals in the sentential form. So we have to convert all the non-terminals to the terminals, or we have to replace non-terminals with the terminals to generate the final string. So ultimately we have to rewrite these non-terminals for the sentential form, and we are following leftmost derivation. So here this is the leftmost, here S is the leftmost variable to be rewritten. So here S is taken as a target variable or the non-terminal to be rewritten, and corresponding to S we have this second production rule only for termination. So by the application of rule number 2 we are getting this, okay. So this is the next string that can be derived from these production rules, given production rules. So let's write this string here as the second option, or let's try to repeat the rule number 1 more than one time, okay. So if we are getting this ASB, again by the application of rule number 1, again by the application of rule number 1, we are getting this. Okay, so simply we are rewriting the non-terminals with the right hand side of the production rule, okay, according to our requirement, as we are guessing the strings. So we have to use hit and trial method, means we have to try all the options to find out the strings. So here ultimately we have to terminate by the application of rule number 2, and this is the final resulting string, triple A and triple B. So let's write this string again. So if you try further options by applying rule number 1, if you are applying rule number 1 for n times, okay, so you will be getting more strings. So you will be getting further strings. So by the application of rule number 1 means, if you check carefully, to generate the string with n number of A's, okay, so n minus 1, we are applying rule number 1, n minus 1 time if the number of A's are n and number of B's are n. So we are applying rule number 1 for the n minus 1 time, and rule number 2 1 time. Okay, so this is the simplified rule or the pattern of every string that can be derived from this language. For every string with A raised to power n, B raised to power n, and all the A's are followed by same number of B's. Okay, so for every string we are applying rule number 1 n minus 1 time, and rule number 2 only 1 time for last termination of the non-terminal, as we have done here and here. Okay, so here simple, the language of this string is A raised to power n, B raised to power n, n greater than equal to 1. Why we are writing n greater than equal to 1? Because here we have the termination with simple AB. Okay, so if we had the production rule, this, let me change the color, if we have this production rule instead of this second production rule, means we can terminate the string with a null. We can terminate the start symbol or this non-terminal with a null. Then we can also derive the minimum string as null from the language, from the grammar, and next we can have the option of AB and so on. Okay, so for if we have this as a second production rule for this same grammar, then the language will be this, A raised to power n, B raised to power n. Now we can derive a null string also, so n greater than equal to 0. Okay, so this will be the language if we had this production rule instead of this production rule, right? So you have to think according to the given production rule. So what language can be derived from out of those production rules by the application of the production rule. So you have to check for every option, then you have to conclude with the language of that particular grammar, means what type of strings the production rule can generate and what is the pattern. So you have to identify the pattern, and after that you can write the language of that particular grammar, right? So moving to the second example, here we have the second example, only one non-terminal, as S terminals are these ABC and S is the start symbol. Here S is the start symbol. The production rules are this first production rule, second production rule, and this is the third production rule, right? So after starting with the third production rule, means we have to repeat the process, and these are the description of all the tuples of this grammar. Now we have to find out the language of this grammar. Okay, so and if you check carefully, we have to repeat the same process with the given production rule. So minimum string that can be derived out of this language is C by the application of rule number 3, right? So let's check for the further options. So the minimum string derivable by the application of rule number 3 is C. This is the production rule number 1, 2 and 3. So minimum string is C. Let's check for the further option. If we are using the rule number 1, A is A, right? Next, now we have to terminate S. So for termination we are using A, C, A, right, by the application of rule number 3. So here the string derived that can be derived are these A, C, A. Next, if we start with the rule number 2, so here by the application of rule number 2 we are getting A, S, B. Please note here that we are having 3 production rule corresponding to the start symbol. Okay, so we can start with either production rule. If we have only one option corresponding to the start symbol, then we have to start our derivation with that particular rule only. Okay, so if we have all the rules with the or more than one rule for the start symbol, so we can go with any rule based on the question given. Okay, so here by applying rule number 3, again we are terminating with. Okay, so next string derived is this. Next minimum string that we can derive is by the application of rule number 1 first and then 2, or by the application of rule number 2 as a first rule to be applied and then this first rule. Okay, so you can go with either. So let's start with the rule number 2. So here by the application of rule number 2 we are getting B is B. Again we are applying rule number 1. So by the application of rule number 1 we are getting B, A, S, B. Sorry, here we have A, B, and ultimately we have to terminate with rule number 3 as B, A, C, A, B, right? So if you check carefully, here we are just repeating the occurrence of A and B in the left hand side and also in the at the same position in the right hand side. So we are generating the string of palindrome. Okay, so what we have in the left hand side, we have reverse in the right hand side. Okay, so first half is second half we can say that is the just reverse of the left hand side. So we are adding 1A in the left, then we are adding 1A also in the right at the same position. Same way, if we are adding a B in the left hand side, we are also adding a B in the right hand side at the same position. So this is the grammar for the strings of we can say that palindromes. Okay, so for palindromes we have terminating symbol as C. Okay, so we can also have other symbols for the termination. So here we have C as a terminating symbol for the palindrome. So here the language of this string is, we have to write in the terms of language, or you can check for further options also. If we are look for more strings, then we can have A, B, B, A, C, B. Sorry, here we have A, B, B. Okay, and so on. So any type of palindrome can be derived from this grammar and C as a middle symbol or the terminating symbol. So first thing is clear, every string must be of odd length. Okay, so we have to identify the pattern. So every string will be of odd length, right? Next, every string has same letters in left hand side and also in right hand side. So we are generating the string of palindromes, right? So just simply write the language of the palindrome as W, C, as we have C or the center symbol as C, W reverse of W to the right hand for the second half of the string, and W is a string of A's and B's. Okay, we are using a star here with AB because we can also derive a C only from the production rules without having any A or B, means the minimum string is C. So we can have a null string of W, but C is must for every string. Okay, so we are having star with this pattern. So here we are having W on the left hand side and reverse of W on the right hand side. So this is the simple example of the palindrome, odd length palindrome, where we are terminating with a C. Okay, so just modifying some production rule to generate different type of grammar. Out of this production rule, if we have just wait. So this was a language of this particular grammar. And if we are having the production rule like S derives ASA, S derives BSB, if these are the production rule, and S terminated with A and B or null. Okay, then in this grammar we can derive any string of palindrome, okay, without having C as or any third symbol as a middle symbol. So we can derive the string of even palindrome. This was the language for this. So we can derive the string of even palindrome, odd palindrome, and without having any center point symbol. Okay, so here, so the language of this palindrome, so language of this palindrome will be language W, and on right hand side we are having reverse of the string, same reverse of the same string as A on the left hand side and A on the right hand side also. So reverse of the string, and in center we are having a X. Okay, so here W is representing string of A's and B's, and here X is representing either A, B or null. So this is the language for even, or we can say that any palindrome. This is the language of any palindrome, means we can derive any palindrome out of this these production rules. Okay, so let's try to find out. So minimum string to be derived is null by the application of rule number 3. Okay, so this was the first string that we have detected, or the as a minimum string that can be derived from this grammar. Next we have, if we are applying any production rule first or second any number of times, so we will be having the same symbol in left and also in the left right hand side. So we are getting ASA, and further if we are using A, B, S, B, A, and finally we are terminating it with the B or the A. So you can, it's up to you, A, B, A, B, A. Okay, so we can derive any string of palindrome with the help of these production rules. Okay, so if you are given with these production rules, then this is the language, and if you are given with these production rules, then this is the language. Okay, so you have to judge according to the given production rules. Next we have this grammar with 3 non-terminals. First is S, A and B. So these are the non-terminals, these are the terminals as A, B, and start symbol production rules are 1, 2 and 3, 1, 2 and 3. So we are having 3 non-terminals here, and the start symbol is given as S. So we have to start with S only, we cannot start the derivation with any other production any other non-terminal. So we have to start with S only. So let's check for the string or the language of this grammar. So here, starting with the first production rule, by the application of first production rule, we have to apply first production rule for every derivation. we are getting this sentential form, and by using leftmost derivation and rewriting this leftmost non-terminal a, we are getting this sentential form. So these are the sentential form. Next, this sentential form, for this sentential form we are having this leftmost non-terminal to be rewritten. So we are having this by the application of rule number 3. So we are generating this string out of this language as AB, or we can say that the only string that can be derivable from this grammar or these given production rule is AB. We cannot derive any other string. So the language of this is AB. Okay, so the language of this grammar is AB only. We cannot derive any other string. So I think this is clear. Next we have this grammar. So for this grammar we are having, these are the non-terminals, this is the terminal and start symbol. Next we have production rule 1, 2 and 3. So here we have null as a third production rule, as A is deriving null, but we cannot derive null from the string because A is not the start symbol. Remember, A is not the start symbol. So start symbol is S. So we have to check for the further options, means what we have to what type of strings or what is the pattern of the pattern of strings that can be derived from these production rules. So let's start with the question. So here let's check. From S we have to use this production rule only because S is the start symbol. Further we have the option to use rule number 2 or rule number 3. If we are using rule number 3, then A is replaced with null and the string derived is AB only, AB, right? Next, if we are not terminating it with null, then we have to apply rule number 2. So let's start with next option of derivation. So here we are replacing A with rule number 2 by applying the rule number 2, A, B, or we can apply rule number 1 again. Sorry, not 1 again, no, 2 only, because rule number 1 we are having corresponding to S and we are not having S non-terminal in the sentential form. So we cannot apply rule number 1 anymore. Rule number 1 can be applied only one time for the first production rule. Next we have to use production rule number 2 or 3 only. So here we can repeat rule number 2 any number of time, and ultimately we have to terminate the string with a null by the application of rule number 3. So here this is the string AAB, right? So as we can see, we can derive these type of patterns from this production, for these production rules. So we can say that the language of this grammar is a raised to power n followed by or ended with a single b, where n is greater than equal to 1, means we must have at least one a. So the strings of a's followed by a single b is the language of this grammar, as we cannot derive a null from this grammar, as we have to use this production rule first corresponding to the start symbol, then we can move to the further symbol a. Okay, and a is having the null termination but not the s. So n must be greater than equal to 1 for these set of rules, set of production rules. If we modify or if we add one production rule as this, so if we are adding this rule to the grammar, then we can have string of a's followed by a string of b's. Okay, but here with this rule we have the option to add more a's than b's. So the language of this particular grammar with a new rule will be language equals to a raised to power n, b raised to power m, where n and m are greater than equal to 1, right? Because we need at least one occurrence of a, b from this rule, and second condition is n can be greater than equal to m, means we can have same number of a's followed by same number of b's, or we can have extras a's, means with this rule a we can have only occurrence of a's then b's. Same way we can derive the language of a's and b's where number of b's are greater than number of a's. So for that you need to add, or you need to change this rule to this rule, then you can derive this language where number of b's are greater than equal to number of a's, and a's are followed by number of b's, equal or greater number of b's. So if you change this particular rule to this rule, otherwise with this rule we are having this language where number of a's are greater than number of b's. Please note that if you are counting the number of b's, means if for multiple occurrence of b's we need to add b to the right hand side. We cannot as the pattern is having a's then b's, so we cannot add b's to the left of a, we need to add b to the right hand side of the variable name or the non-terminal. So this is the language corresponding to this particular grammar. And for the previous question we have, for this particular question we have the string of a's followed by or terminated with a single b where n is greater than equal to 1. And if we have this rule, then language of a's followed by by same or less number of b's, right. So next question, these for next question, these are the non-terminals and these are the terminals, and this is the start symbol of the grammar. Next we have the production rules. So these are the production rule number 1, production rule number 2 and production rule number 3. So if you check carefully for this grammar, we have if we are having a in the left hand side, then we are having b in the right hand side, okay. And this is this rule, or we can say that third production rule is just repeating the complete grammar, just repeating the complete grammar. So from rule number 1 and 2 we can derive the a's and b's, means in the same sequence, means if we are having a in the left hand side we are having b in the right hand side, and with this grammar, this rule, we are just repeating the complete grammar we are repeating using third production rule. So simply if you check carefully, this is a grammar of balanced string of parenthesis, so you can consider a as a left parenthesis and b as a right parenthesis and s as a non-terminal, okay. And here this production rule can be considered as this, and this is same as the above production rule. So here for this language we can consider a as terminals, as a as opening parenthesis and b as closing parenthesis, because these production rules are forming the pattern of the parenthesis only, balanced string of parenthesis. So you can derive the string of balanced parenthesis from these production rules. So let's start with the string. So minimum string that can be derived is by the application of rule number 2 as this, and after that we can have any string, any balanced string of parentheses by the application of multiple rules. For example here a s b, or write in the terms of parentheses. So if you are writing in term of parentheses, the question will be more clear to you, means you can easily judge the pattern. And this is the most important grammar from the examination point of view. You will surely get the question on balanced string of parentheses. So here s can be rewritten with double s by the application of rule number 3. Now further terminating, we can terminate for this, writing this non-terminal with terminating this. Next, this is by the application of rule number 2. Now further we have this leftmost non-terminal, so further rewriting it and we are getting this pattern, okay. And you can generate any pattern of parenthesis by the application of these production rules. So this is the well formed grammar for the balanced string of parenthesis. So next in this question we have to write the grammar for balanced string of parenthesis for these parentheses. So the terminals given are these. curly braces opening closing and the square bracket opening closing. Okay, so this question is very similar or exactly similar to the previous question, just we have changed the terminal from these parentheses to curly and square parentheses. Okay, so now just simply repeating the rules. For this we have to add these production rules. So if we have multiple production rule corresponding to a non-terminal, we can simply write in cascading terms, means this is the first rule and this is the second rule. So you can use this slash to represent multiple rule corresponding to one non-terminal. Okay, so here we will be using this equal, not equal to, this single arrow. Okay, next production rule that we have to write is this, right? And for repetition of complete grammar, we simply need to add this production rule, double S. Okay, so this will generate all the strings of balanced parentheses for these parentheses. Okay, and if we are also given with the, if we have terminals as curly brackets, round brackets and the square bracket, so now we have all the brackets in the option of terminals, then we simply need to add two more production rules corresponding to every new pair of parentheses given in the terminals as this, and the grammar is okay. Okay, so you can generate any string of parentheses from these production rules. So how many production rules we have for this grammar are 3 production rule. 1, this is first production rule, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth and 7. Total we have 7 production rule for this particular grammar, right? So thank you. In next session we will be having the questions on generating grammar, or we have to write the production rules for the given grammar. Okay, so practice well for these grammar questions and best of luck.